Hey everybody, it's Kathryn Woodard. I'm back with another introduction to creativity at the piano that's scheduled for this summer in Vienna. The previous videos I've made sort of as a general introduction, pretty much to anyone who wanted to find out more, why I put the course together, what you can look forward to doing. This is an introduction specifically for students. Maybe you're signed up for the course, you're excited about it, you want to go to Vienna, you have some pieces that you want to work on, but what is this creativity thing? What am I actually going to be doing? You might be thinking. So I'll give you a short example of something that I've done with a lot of students just recently. And it has to do, I borrowed it, I'll be quite frank, I borrowed it from a student's own lesson book that they were playing out of. And they were playing a piece and we were struggling to find notes, we were struggling with reading, and then I realized, hey, you know what? The note that you found sounds fantastic. Why don't we just go with that? Why don't we take this and make up our own piece instead of being completely uptight about what that specific note is or this specific note? So let me describe to you what the piece is. You may know it if you know this method book. It just starts with a set of 4 notes that repeats, and there's a nice bass line and then a left-hand crossover melody. And then the pattern changes and the bass line changes. This is Milky Way from the Faber method books, if you're familiar with it. So what we did with that after the struggle and not wanting to be too uptight with it, I said, pick a pattern of 4 notes. Pick a pattern of 4 notes, and this doesn't matter. Your playing ability may be way beyond this piece, but it's a good way to get started, finding out what sounds you like, just giving you a little bit of direction and putting a phrase together, or even longer. So I had a student pick this set of 4 notes instead. So you notice he started with a different pattern of 4 notes, but he actually started with the same bass notes just to see what it would sound like. And then inevitably, when you don't know what's coming next, you'll throw in some notes. You might kind of react suddenly to them. Oh, that's not exactly what I expected, but I encourage students to live with it. Listen to what you just did. You might find something that captures your attention that you could work with it. It was just kind of a surprise at first. So for older students, what I would challenge them to do if it's way beyond their playing level is you don't always have to match the left-hand notes with the beginning of the right-hand pattern. You could pick a different set. So initially I waited a little bit longer. I let the bass note sink in, and then I started to interject the left-hand notes at varying intervals, not just a straight 4/8 notes pulse. Another thing that I would encourage after students have tried out a few patterns is I would ask, which one did you like? Which one did you like the sound of? And then we could analyze a little bit. Okay, let me show you what this pattern did for you. Why you like that particular bass note, why this bass note clashed. You'll notice the second pattern that I chose was based on a whole tone scale, and so we would talk about that, what notes are going to sound like they match if you choose them in the left hand. The other pattern was more chromatic, smaller intervals, not purely chromatic, but more half steps. So it had a little more sinister sound. What's coming next? Who's around the corner? What's going to surprise me? Conversely, you could choose something like this. So much wider intervals. I could almost work with a pentatonic scale using that pattern. But again, I chose irregular timing intervals to interject the left hand. So I gave you 3 different patterns. I gave you 3 different ideas of how to work with the left hand, but go to it. Experiment with your own choices. Have fun with it.